The old house stood bathed in the warm glow of the afternoon sun. It was a place of comfort and laughter, home to a unique family. Maria, a woman with a philosopher's mind and a heart as big as the sun, lived there. She was a teacher, her days spent nurturing young minds. Her evenings were dedicated to her other family, her 3 cats, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Maria was a woman of 2 worlds. Her father, a boisterous Italian chef, had instilled in her a love for food and laughter. Her mother, a quiet Mexican seamstress, had passed on a deep sense of spirituality and a belief in the unseen connections that bound the universe. It was this unique blend of heritage that drew Maria to stray animals. They spoke to her soul, these lost and lonely creatures, and she to theirs. It was a bright Tuesday afternoon when Maria felt it, a strange pull, a whisper in her heart urging her home. She sat at her desk, grading papers, but her mind was miles away. The feeling was insistent, like a gentle tug on an invisible string that connected her to her house. She tried to ignore it, to focus on the task at hand, but the feeling persisted, growing stronger with every passing moment. Finally she gave in. Gathering her things, she told her colleagues she wasn't feeling well and headed home, her mind abuzz with a strange premonition. The drive home was a blur. Maria couldn't shake off the feeling that something was amiss. Her usually logical mind, trained in the art of reasoning and deduction, was no match for the overwhelming sense of urgency that had gripped her heart. As Maria pulled into her driveway, she saw her. The sun was setting, casting a golden hue over everything, making the scene almost magical. She had had a long day at work and was looking forward to a quiet evening, but little did she know her evening was about to take an unexpected turn. A tiny kitten, no bigger than her hand, huddled by the back door. It looked so fragile and vulnerable, its small body shivering slightly in the cool evening breeze. Maria's heart immediately went out to the little creature. It was a calico, a beautiful mix of black, white, and orange fur, with eyes that shone like emeralds in the fading light. The kitten's fur was slightly matted, and it looked like it had been through a lot, but its eyes were bright and full of life. The kitten looked up as Maria approached, and in that instant, their eyes met. There was a moment of stillness, as if time itself had paused to witness this meeting of souls. Maria felt a strange sense of familiarity, as if she had known this kitten all her life. Maria felt an unexplainable connection, a jolt of recognition. It was as if the kitten was a long-lost friend, someone she had been waiting to meet. Her heart swelled with emotion, and she knew she couldn't just leave the kitten there. It was as if the kitten was trying to communicate with her, not through meows or purrs, but through a silent language that spoke directly to her soul. The kitten's eyes seemed to be saying, "Help me, please." Maria felt a deep sense of responsibility and compassion. It was a feeling so intense, so pure, that it sent shivers down her spine. She had never felt such a strong connection with an animal before. It was as if the universe had brought them together for a reason. The kitten let out a soft meow, a sound that seemed to echo in the depths of Maria's being. It was a gentle, almost musical sound filled with both desperation and hope. Maria knew she had to do something. It was a sound of both desperation and hope, a plea for help that resonated with a deep-seated compassion within her. The kitten's eyes were filled with a mixture of fear and trust, and Maria knew she couldn't turn away. Maria knelt down, her heart pounding in her chest, and slowly extended her hand. She moved cautiously, not wanting to scare the kitten. As her hand got closer, the kitten sniffed it tentatively, then nuzzled against her fingers. In that moment, Maria knew she had found a new friend, and that this tiny creature had found a new home. The kitten didn't hesitate. She moved with a sense of purpose, her tiny paws patting softly on the ground as she approached Maria. There was an innocence in her eyes, a purity that spoke volumes without uttering a single sound. She rubbed her tiny head against Maria's palm, a gesture so trusting, so full of unconditional love, that it brought tears to Maria's eyes. It was as if the kitten knew that Maria's heart was in need of healing, and she was there to offer solace. In that moment she knew she couldn't leave this little creature to fend for herself. The bond was instant, a connection that transcended words. Maria felt a surge of protectiveness, a need to shield this fragile life from the harshness of the world. As she picked up the kitten, she felt a strange sense of rightness, a feeling that this was meant to be. The kitten nestled into her arms, purring softly, and Maria's heart swelled with a warmth she hadn't felt in a long time. It was as if the universe had conspired to bring them together, orchestrating this chance encounter with a purpose that was yet to be revealed. The setting sun cast a golden glow over them, adding a touch of magic to the moment. Back inside, her other cats, usually indifferent to newcomers, seemed curious about the new arrival. They watched from a distance, their eyes wide with interest, as if sensing the significance of this new addition to their family. They sniffed the air cautiously, their tails twitching with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. It was a rare sight, this collective curiosity, and it made Maria wonder if they too felt the special bond she had with the kitten. Maria, still reeling from the intensity of the connection she felt with the kitten, wondered if her furry companion sensed it too, the invisible thread that seemed to bind her to this tiny creature. She pondered the mysteries of fate and the unexpected ways it weaves lives together, leaving her both hopeful and contemplative about the future. Section 5. Welcoming Luna, a new member of the family. Maria named the kitten Luna, for her eyes that shone like moonstones. Luna, in turn, seemed to accept her new name and her new home with a quiet grace. She adapted to life with Maria and the other cats with surprising ease. It was as if she had always been meant to be there. Luna would follow Maria around the house, her tiny paws padding silently on the hardwood floors. She would curl up on Maria's lap as she read, her soft purrs a soothing balm to Maria's soul. Maria, a woman of logic and reason, found herself questioning her own sanity. Was she imagining this connection, this telepathic bond she felt with Luna? Or was there something more, something beyond the realm of human understanding at play here? Section 6. Harmony and discord. Cats will be cats. The other cats, initially wary of Luna, gradually began to accept her. Socrates, the oldest and grumpiest of the three, tolerated her presence with a disdainful sniff. Plato, ever the observer, watched Luna's every move with an air of detached amusement. Aristotle, the youngest and most playful, was the first to break the ice. He would bat at Luna with a sheathed paw, engaging her in playful tumbles that filled the house with the sounds of feline frolicking. Maria observed their interactions with a mixture of amusement and wonder. It was as if Luna, with her quiet charm and undeniable sweetness, had woven a spell over the entire household, bringing a renewed sense of harmony and joy to their little family. Section 7. A bond beyond words, a love beyond logic. As the days turned into weeks, the bond between Maria and Luna grew stronger. Maria discovered that her intuition, her ability to sense Luna's needs and emotions, was becoming increasingly acute. It was as if their minds were linked, their thoughts and feelings flowing seamlessly between them. One evening, as Maria was preparing dinner, she felt a sudden wave of anxiety wash over her. She paused, her hands hovering over the cutting board, and listened. A faint mewing, barely audible above the hum of the refrigerator, reached her ears. It was Luna. She found Luna huddled in a corner, trembling. Maria picked her up, her heart aching at the fear she sensed in the small creature. She held Luna close, whispering words of comfort and reassurance, until the trembling subsided and Luna's breathing returned to normal. Section 8. The universe works in mysterious ways. That night, as Maria lay in bed, she felt a sense of calm wash over her. The moonlight filtered through the window, casting a gentle glow across the room. Luna curled up on the pillow beside her, purring softly. The rhythmic sound of Luna's purring was like a soothing lullaby, easing Maria's mind. She couldn't shake off the feeling that there was something magical, something truly extraordinary, about her connection with this little cat. It was as if Luna had been sent to her for a reason. The bond they shared was unlike anything Maria had ever experienced. She gently stroked Luna's fur, feeling a deep sense of peace and contentment. It was as if Luna had been sent to her, a furry messenger from the universe, to remind her of the unseen connections that bind all living things. Luna's curious eyes seemed to hold a wisdom beyond her years, a furry messenger from the universe, to remind her of the unseen connections that bind all living things. Luna's presence was a constant reminder of the beauty and mystery of life, to remind her of the unseen connections that bind all living things. She thought about her own life, her own journey, and the twists of fate that had led her to this moment. She thought about her own life, her own journey, and the twists of fate that had led her to this moment. Every decision, every chance encounter had brought her to where she was now, and the twists of fate that had led her to this moment. She had always been a spiritual person, but her encounter with Luna had deepened her spirituality, opening her eyes to a world beyond the material, beyond the rationale. She had always been a spiritual person, but her encounter with Luna had deepened her spirituality, opening her eyes to a world beyond the material, beyond the rational. She felt a profound sense of connection to the universe, but her encounter with Luna had deepened her spirituality, opening her eyes to a world beyond the material, beyond the rational. Maria realized that there was so much more to life than what met the eye. Opening her eyes to a world beyond the material, beyond the rationale, she felt a profound sense of connection to the universe, as if she was part of something much greater than herself. Maria drifted off to sleep, a smile on her face, her heart filled with gratitude for the gift of Luna's presence in her life. She had opened her home and her heart to a stray kitten, a smile on her face, her heart filled with gratitude for the gift of Luna's presence in her life. She had opened her home and her heart to a stray kitten, and in return, she had received a love that knew no bounds. Her heart filled with gratitude for the gift of Luna's presence in her life. She had opened her home and her heart to a stray kitten, and in return, she had received a love that knew no bounds, a connection that transcended words. She had opened her home and her heart to a stray kitten, and in return, she had received a love that knew no bounds, a connection that transcended words. Maria knew that Luna was more than just a pet. She was a companion, a confidant, and a reminder of the magic that exists in the world. And in return, she had received a love that knew no bounds, a connection that transcended words. Maria knew that Luna was more than just a pet. She was a companion, a confidant, and a reminder of the magic that exists in the world. As she drifted off to sleep, she felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that she was exactly where she was meant to be, a connection that transcended words. Maria knew that Luna was more than just a pet. She was a companion, a confidant, and a reminder of the magic that exists in the world. As she drifted off to sleep, she felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that she was exactly where she was meant to be. The universe had indeed worked in mysterious ways, bringing Luna into her life, and for that, she was eternally grateful. Section 9, Reflections on Fate, Free Will, and Feline Friends. The universe works in mysterious ways. We often search for meaning in our lives, for explanations and rationales, when sometimes the answers are right in front of us, purring softly at our feet. Luna had chosen Maria, just as Maria had chosen to open her heart to the possibility of a love that transcended species, a bond that defied logic. Perhaps it was fate, perhaps it was free will, or perhaps it was simply the inexplicable magic that occurs when two souls are destined to meet. Whatever the reason, one thing was certain: Maria and Luna had found each other, and in doing so, they had discovered a love that was both profound and pure, a testament to the enduring power of connection in a world that often felt fragmented and disconnected.